So if this is your first time doing a meditation, perfect. Hey, Becca, nice to see you here. Steluta too. Aw, sweet. Okay, so while we wait for more people to join in, with a couple more minutes, let's get ourselves comfy. So if you can grab a blanket, a cushion, and this is really free for all. You can just choose to either lie down, and if you're lying down maybe on your yoga mat, or if you don't have a yoga mat, you can lay down on a carpet, on a rug, on your sofa, maybe even in your bed. One warning though, if you are laying down on your sofa or your bed, it might start to become very easy for you to drift off into sleep. And while this practice is designed to get you to relax and get you into a state ready for sleep, we ideally want to stay as awake as we can as much as possible, right? So if you're laying down a bit, awesome. What I would do though is take the pillow away from you so that you're it's just your head on the mattress. And the other thing you can do as well, if you're laying down, a thin little blanket underneath your head. That could also maybe help if it's not comfortable enough. And think of pulling your chin slightly further down towards your chest. So if I look at you from the side and you're laying down, not having your chin facing up that way, but kind of pulled down so your chin is lower than your forehead. And that helps to kind of keep you more in a conscious state. So it's less easy for you to fall asleep if you're lying down. Great. Hi, Marina, good to see you. Okay, so today's practice, I'm gonna take you through maybe a 10 to 15 minute meditation practice. Easy, because I know there's quite a few first timers on here, never done meditation. I want this to be really easy, very accessible. And more importantly, I want to give you a couple of techniques that you can use throughout your day. Something that you can very easily, 5 minutes, sprinkled maybe 5 times throughout your day to check in with yourself. Because I know it's a bit of a crazy time right now and everything's sort of turning upside down and you're not in your usual routine. And that's perfectly fine. It's part of the human experience, right? It's also good when we're able to hold space for it and not feel like we have to run away from these difficult emotions, right? But it's also learning to self-regulate ourselves with some of these practices. So yeah, in today's practice, I want to give you 2 really simple techniques. First is a breathwork technique that you can use to help you self-regulate. And the second is to help you bring yourself from like this mental soup that you have going on here and taking it all the way down into the body and down into the heart and expanding into the heart as well. Because a lot of times when we bring our thoughts into the body and into the heart, that helps us to kind of not think anymore, you know, because you're feeling into what the sensations are. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to be doing today. So more and more people are joining. Awesome. Super. So, okay, if you are comfy, grab your blanket, grab your cushion. Now, you don't have to sit down in a cross-legged position. If that's available to you and you're comfortable, awesome, do that. But if sitting on the floor is your first time, know that we'll be here for another 15 minutes. And if it's not comfortable now, it's going to get even more uncomfortable later. Right? So I'd rather you just lie down on the floor, or if you want to sit on the floor, maybe grab a cushion from the sofa, place it under your bum, place another cushion or a pillow against the wall. So really scooch yourself up against the wall so you have something to lean back against. Alternatively, you can also use a chair. So if you're sitting on the chair, just ensuring that both your feet are, the soles of your feet are flat on the floor. So for some of us who might be shorter, like me, with shorter legs, you might need to place some books underneath your feet to make sure that your feet are flat, right? So just a couple more minutes for you to go run around the house and grab what you need to grab to feel comfortable. So instead of me sitting here and staring at the screen while we wait for you to get comfy and get settled, I thought I'd open this with something fun. I have a affirmation deck by Gabby Bernstein. It's called Super Attractor. So if you follow my Instagram stories, you know I tend to sometimes pull out a daily message. And it's a beautiful deck. So it's beautifully illustrated on the back. And on the inside, there's lots of different positive affirmations with lots of different illustrations on them as well. And while we wait for more people to join in, and while we wait for you guys to tear around the house, grabbing more blankets and cushions and whatever you need to get comfy, let's just ask the universe today what message the universe has for us today, collectively. Okay. So let's shuffle this and see what comes out. I think I've shuffled enough. Okay, let's see. I let the universe catch up with my dreams. Awesome. Maybe that's something you need to hear today. Maybe you're like, what? But yeah, it is a crazy time right now. We've got lots of dreams and lots of different things we're sort of swimming in right now. And we're just waiting for the universe to catch up with them, right? Nice, sweet. Okay, so, hey Kaylee, nice to see you. Okay. So with that said, I think maybe we can start to tune in and get comfy and begin the practice shortly. And maybe before we begin, just a short little introduction of who I am. Some of you, I know most of you on here, I think, but if you don't know me, hi, I'm Jamie Tan at Enlightened Spoon. And I am a yoga teacher, and I'm also trained in Ayurveda Yoga Nidra. And today, instead of doing like a full-on 30 to 40 minute Yoga Nidra session, I thought I would do a shorter 10 to 15 minute guided meditation. Simple, practical techniques that you can use throughout your day, right? And so today's theme is getting out of your head and into your heart. Such an important concept to kind of like really latch onto during this time. I mean, I don't know about you, but simple, easy things suddenly become a little bit more like stressy, you know? I mean, I've pretty much been staying home and bunkered indoors for like the last 3-4 days. And I go out, you know, sometimes to go to the local Albert Heijn, the supermarket, to pick up fresh produce and fresh veggies and fruit. And that just the simple act of being outside around people is like pretty stressful right now, right? I don't know about you, but this is my current experience. And something as simple and basic as like going out to forage for food can become this whole like, oh my God, I don't want to touch this. Oh my God, like that guy's coughing. It's kind of wild, right? It's kind of bananas that that's sort of the world that we're living in right now. But hey, you know, we are where we are. And this is the reality that we're in right now, and it's perfectly okay to be feeling these anxious thoughts. I think the important thing is for us to be able to sit and rest in knowing that this is all part of the human experience, right? And we have these spiritual practices that we turn to help us check in with ourselves. And it's a practice, right? Because we're not going to be in this constant Zen state 24/7. And that's not, I mean, fuck no, you know, we're only human, right? But if you can tune into whatever breath sensations or tune into like just being the very fact of being aware of where you're at right now could already start to help you deal with the current situation that you're in right now. So with that said, these are practices that you can do little and often throughout your day. So if you are sitting down in a seated position, feeling yourself grounded and rooted into the surface beneath you. So if you're on a chair, maybe you want to pull the fleshy part of your bum away from your sit bones. So you allow the sit bones to really ground down into the chair beneath you. And if you're seated in a chair, ensuring that your knees are hip width apart, hands on your lap. And if you're laying down, starting to feel the surface beneath you. So if you can be 5 to 10% more comfortable right now, go ahead and adjust yourself as we start to begin this practice. Perhaps you might like to close your eyes and gently start to turn the focus inwards. And wherever you're at right now, sitting or laying down, starting to open up your senses, being aware of the sounds around you, becoming aware of the space and the environment that you're in right now, checking in with where your mind is at right now. There's no need to change wherever you're at. Just simply sitting here and observing, how does my mind feel right now? And checking in with your body. How does my body feel right now? Starting to turn your awareness towards your breathing. Maybe let's do 3 cleansing breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One last time, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And as you're resting here, feeling where your body touches the surface beneath you, allowing the surface beneath to hold and carry you. So with the next exhale, just really rest into that and release just a little bit more. Opening with the intention today to nourish kindness, compassion, and love within ourselves. To nourish this kindness, compassion, and love for those around us as well. So that we're able to nourish an inner resilience and anchored stability. Tapping into the unbreakable resilience from within. So as I say this next phrase aloud as today's practice, allow my words to be your words, either repeating them in your head or saying them out loud. I nourish kindness, compassion, and love within myself and around me. To nourish an inner resilience and anchored stability. Now feeling and resting into this grounded sense of well-being and being. Feeling this presence within you and around you. And just resting with the knowing that all is okay. Wherever you are at right now is okay. It's right where you are meant to be. Using the breath to expand into this grounded sense of well-being. Expanding into it in the inhale. Feeling into it on the exhale. And know that you can always take yourself back to this centered, grounded place of well-being within yourself at any point. Now very gently start to lengthen the inhales and lengthen the exhales. starting to feel the inhales from deep within the belly, deep belly breathing. So feeling the inhale rising and falling from the front body, the back body, left and right sides, all the way up through the rib cage, all the way up into the chest. And as you exhale, feel the contraction moving down from your chest through the rib cage, all the way down into the lower belly. So a few more rounds of this. Very slowly as you inhale, start to feel this expansion, front, back, and side bodies through the rib cage, all the way through the chest. And exhaling, feeling the falling and contraction. A few more rounds in your own time. And ensuring that your inhales and exhales come from the nose. So if your mouth is open, you might want to close it and just start to tune into inhaling only through the nostrils. Deep belly breaths. And if this feels good, you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to move into the next square breathing technique, on the next inhale for a count of 3 or 4, hold for a count of 3 or 4, exhale for a count of 3 or 4, and then hold at the end of the exhale for a count of 3 or 4. So think of this like a square. So as you inhale for 3 or 4, hold it at the top of the inhale for a count of 3 or 4, exhaling for a count of 3 or 4, and then holding there for a count of 3 or 4. So doing this in your own time. And remembering to start the breaths from deep in the belly. So feeling the belly rising through the front and back bodies and the sides as you inhale. And holding it there at the top of the inhale for 3 or 4. And then as you exhale, remembering to contract, bring the breath deep into the lower belly. And then hold there for a count of 3 or 4. So this square breathing technique is something that you can always come back to, little and often throughout your day. Anytime you start to feel a little bit more anxious, a little bit more panicked, take it back to these deep belly breaths and take it back to the square breathing. One last round here. And when you come to the end of the last hold after the last exhale, releasing all control of the breath, just coming back to a regular breathing pace and feeling into the sensations, feeling in how that last breath technique makes you feel right now. And perhaps your head, your mind is still really busy. Maybe there's lots of thoughts coming through, and maybe there's some emotions or feelings that are coming up for you. Allowing everything to be exactly as it is, with no need to change wherever you're at. And perhaps if you're still quite stuck in the mind and the thoughts in the head right now, let's take it back down into the heart. So think of taking an elevator from the brain descending down into the heart. And maybe if that feels difficult for you right now, let's start with some body sensing up on top where the forehead is. So feeling sensations in the forehead. There's no need to change anything, no need to move any body part, just feeling into the sensations in the forehead. Tracing the sensations up into the crown of the head, back of the head, back of the neck, feeling sensations in the shoulders, maybe softening the shoulders. And then feeling these sensations moving down into the heart center, the energetic center within your heart space. So maybe using the inhales, breathing into this heart center in the middle of your rib cage. Once again, feeling this expansion through the front and the back body, through the left and the right bodies. And maybe even feeling the expansion through top and bottom of the heart space. And as you inhale, can you start to feel this expansion from your heart space? Move all the way through, expanding all the way through into the crown of the head and into the tips of your toes. So feeling this movement from your energetic heart space center, moving through the entire body. Are there physical sensations that come along with it? Is there a warmth or a pulsing? Feeling into this really vibrant sensation within this heart space. And perhaps touching into moving beyond the skin boundary. Feeling the expansion through the skin boundary to the space around you. And as you exhale, keep thinking of this expansion happening even on the exhale. Feeling the expansion beyond the space around you, filling the room that you're in. Continuing the expansion even on the exhale. Noticing if there are physical sensations that come along with it. The thoughts or emotions that come along with it. No need to change wherever you're at, just simply observing what's coming up for you, allowing everything to be exactly as it is. And if this is feeling good, maybe keep the expansion going to beyond the room that you're in right now and feeling into the joy of this experience. You can also feel into the grounded sense of well-being and being at any point during this practice. And as you're feeling into this expansion, starting to feel these feelings of kindness, compassion, and love within ourselves, expanding from this heart space. Keeping the expansion going even on the exhale. Nourishing your inner resilience and anchored stability from within this heart space. This unbreakable resilience from inside of you is always here. Resting in this awareness. Recognizing and feeling your connection to this worldwide community, to this live stream community. In this moment, millions of others are doing the same as you are, sitting or laying in meditation, supporting each other. And as you feel into this expansion beyond your heart center, through the body, to the space around you, into the room around you and beyond, Starting to feel this connection with millions of others. Touching back into this heart space. Sending kindness, compassion, and love to the millions more who might need this right now. Feeling into the physical sensations or thoughts or emotions that might be coming up for you right now. And just acknowledging that they're there. There's no need to do anything about it. Touching into the grounded sense of well-being and being. Knowing that you can always take yourself back to this centered, grounded place within you. Bringing yourself back into this room. Bringing yourself back into the space around you. Bringing yourself back into the body again. And resting in the intention that we set at the start of this practice. To nourish kindness, compassion, and love within myself and around me. To nourish an inner resilience and anchored stability. Acknowledging it and embodying it with your entire being. Starting to lengthen the inhales and lengthen the exhales once again. And if you'd like to stay in this little bubble that you're in right now, you're welcome to continue on in this sitting or laying practice. Or if you feel like you're ready to come back into this room, to come back into your body again. Very slowly, gently wriggling the fingers, wriggling the toes, getting some movement back in the body again. Maybe give yourself a nice big stretch. Placing your hands on your heart center. Taking a moment to be grateful for this time that you've taken for yourself. And think of one thing that you're grateful for today. As you sit here or lay here, resting in that, I'd like to read you a little poem by Dana Folds, and it's called I Breathe This Moment. So just sit here or lay here and just listen to these words, beautiful words. I breathe this moment. I breathe in acceptance and breathe out fear, making space for all of me to be here without judgment. I breathe in love for the hidden, dark, and quaking places. I breathe ease into tightness and light into the shadowy, walled-off rooms of the psyche where doors were tightly closed for so long and windows shuttered. I breathe in divine presence and let go of any obstacles I can. I breathe this moment deep into the center of my being and breathe out everything that isn't now. I breathe in power, strength, courage, and the willingness to say yes to life, not as I wish it to be, but as it is, resplendent in its silent generosity. Knowing that at any point during your day or in the next few days, you can always take yourself back to the square breathing technique. You can always take yourself back to taking the elevator from your brain down into the heart and feeling the expansion through the heart space. Doing these techniques little and often throughout the day can really help you bring yourself back to that sense of groundedness, nurturing that inner resiliency, something that we all need so much today. So very slowly in your own time, you can open your eyes. And thank you so much for joining me this evening. If there are any questions you have, it might be nice for us to just stay in this quiet space right now. So if there's any questions you have for me, send it to me in a direct message, or rather than doing it right here. I would love to know how this meditation was for you tonight, and if you enjoyed it, if you'd like to have another session, we can maybe do a longer yoga nidra session where you're laying down. But I wish you a very good evening and a very good night. Take care, be well.